episode 5. Quinn Bishop, the CEO, the man in charge here at Cactus Music. We took a much needed Thursday off last week, kind of recovering from Record Store Day and a little pre-Father's Day. So,
yeah, there you go.
So, but we're back and ready to do it. All right, so as always, got a crate full of new releases.
Let's
jump right into it.
And we got a little bit of catching up to because we weren't here last
Correct.
week. So we're going to kick it off an important reissue, the 20th anniversary of the Shins, their debut album, Oh Inverted World. Of course, they've gone on to be a very popular, alternative, whatever you want to call it, band, modern rock band. But this is where it started in Sub Pop, the great Sub Pop label. They always do the first edition of a new album. They do is what they call their loser edition. Of course, always self-deprecating Seattle types.
Sure.
And so the first edition of that is on a white and blue colored vinyl. And it's got a little die-cut cover. The little spores or whatever on the front. There's a hole where you can see those. But great record. If you're a fan of that band at all, go backwards.
I remember when New Slang was out, and it seems like everybody was talking about this shit.
Because his voice is tremendous.
Yeah.
James, I forget his name, James.
Well, I forget his name, James, too, but good stuff.
Nothing but professionalism here.
Yeah, with expanded booklet, exclusive photos, handwritten lyrics. Come on, man. You're winning with this. This thing's priced to move at $23.98. I'm just telling you right now.
And let's talk about another one that's been already out. This was every record store day. There's a surprise hit.
Yeah.
That record stores across America were not sure how
it was going to go. And
it's usually new artists. And then that is what we have here. We have Majid Jordan, and they are proteges. It's a R&B duo.
Right. And
they're proteges of Drake, and they're on Drake's brand new label through the Warner Music Group called Ovo Sound. And man, just
Toronto's
took us by
red hot right now.
Yeah, man, Toronto's and Drake's doing what great musicians do with their hometown. He's an ambassador for that city, and he's dragging everybody with him to international superstardom. But anyway, so this record, people are really digging it, and we're looking forward to Record Store Day. We ran out. We've got a bunch more, but always nice to have a surprise about a new artist.
I gave it a very brief listen, very much in the Drake universe. My Love, featuring Drake, of course, is on here. So if you're in any way, shape, or form, you love that Drake vocal style.
Yeah.
It's a little more representative of chill Drake than
there you go.
That's party. Let's get the party started kind of stuff, I guess. But yeah, it's really good.
Well, and you think about these vanity labels. Probably one of the better examples, Paisley Park, where the artist who starts the label is very involved in all the production, hands-on with all the artists. So yeah, if you're a fan, check that out. All right, we're going to jump to this week, and there's a new Modest Mouse out.
Oh my goodness.
New Modest Mouse, incredibly popular group, pretty prolific. I think they do a good job of only making a record every 3 to 5 years when people are like, hey, I think it's time for a new Modest Mouse album.
Yeah.
There it is. And they did a kooky thing for this. I love this. For indie record stores, they packaged it with a T-shirt. How old school is that? You buy the CD, you get a T-shirt. The vinyl's coming later. But for right now, we have there's cassette and CD.
I think as concerts and festivals get announced, I think I've already seen them on a couple of the.
They're a great festival.
On a couple of the lineups and stuff. Yeah, you're a great band if at some point Johnny Marr just wants to be in your band for a little while.
One of my favorite guitar players.
Can I just be in your band for a little while? Yeah. So that blew my mind when that happened. But yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, that's my favorite record. Just
the one he did with yeah. So.
That was odd shape, so we'll put that one back over here.
All right.
Let's let's keep it going with we were talking Johnny Marr. Let's keep it on the Britpop Anglophile.
Let's do it.
Well, let me see.
Sorry. Oh my God. Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That is dense.
If you haven't been able to keep up, Noel Gallagher, Oasis, no longer a band. Noel Gallagher has been making these pretty damn brilliant solo records, but they don't bear the name Oasis. They don't sell as well. This is I think the 10-year anniversary of the band, so this is a compilation of all they constantly release singles, EPs, things like that. This has a bunch of goodies in it. Unfortunately, I can't tell you what those goodies are because
Get it out of there.
as in the
It's sealed.
the packaging
It's completely sealed.
There's no info on this,
So-
but I can tell you there's a bunch of records, CDs, extra stuff. There's
Right.
also for the non-completist. And there he is, right there. There's no, and this LP is the best of, so it's a good catch up. If you haven't really, those records are really terrific. If you haven't caught up, this is a great place to jump in. It's got all the best tracks.
You know, I don't own any of it, but every time I see a video of them in concert pop up in my YouTube feed, I always watch it and I'm always like, God, it's incredibly catchy.
Yeah.
You know, the guy can just write a hook. He can just write a song.
Yeah, he can.
So, and he'll tell you he can.
He will let you know.
He will let you
If
know.
you don't think he's a brilliant artist, just ask him.
He's going to tell you, yeah. Not shy.
Not shy at all. Okay, we got our English files out of the way. Let's talk some metal.
Yes,
These are some more we're
please.
keeping the box sets
Oh
going
my
on.
God.
Queensryche, a very highly
Yeah.
regarded metal band. This is of course their breakthrough record, the big concept record.
Right.
The metal. The Wall. Is
Always had a
probably,
little prog to them.
Oh, yeah.
There was a little bit of prog. You
No
know,
doubt.
the operatic vocals from Jeff Tate.
Yeah.
You know,
And I think at the time when this record came out, there weren't a lot of bands really doing it. Since the hair band era, there weren't really a lot of.
not 24/7. Like these guys were committed.
So they've done these like really these box sets that have. I mean, this has 5 discs in it, including a DVD that has tons of bonus material. If you love these albums, the live tracks,
And great, what was popular, I guess, more late 80s metal, the double guitar attack, you know, Chris DeGarmo being one of them who I loved. The first Queensryche I ever saw was, you know, I would stay up late to watch MTV in like high school or whatever. And there was, I think it was like live in Japan, and I'd heard the name Queensryche, but it was a live version of Take Hold of the Flame. And I was like, that's amazing. That's my Queensryche story.
hit them high and hit them low, right? With the harmony
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah.
So metal fans, these are in stores now. There's also the original records. These are very expensive because they were made in very limited productions.
Yeah.
They remastered the LPs and now they're available as well.
Love it.
So those are out this week. More reissues. My Morning Jacket. I love this band.
Wonderful band.
And they did a very limited pressing of colored vinyl editions of 2 of their most highly regarded records.
I love Jim James.
It still moves. Oh yeah.
When he came to town to do those Harvey Relief shows,
Yeah.
Wasn't that like
Heights
Heights Theater, right?
Heights of Blues. I think one of them is at House of Blues. He's played Heights Theater.
Yeah. And like the
I saw him there
second
a
I
couple
found out,
times.
it was sold out. Like by the time I found out, it was toast. Way too late.
Yeah, and so you got Evil Urges too, another very
Such a
popular record by
fantastic
them.
record.
Again, very limited color variants. You got Golden Smoke vinyl on It Still Moves and cream colored vinyl.
I saw their Austin City Limits set 5-6 years ago. Who knows? Right after sundown, they were.
I was there.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
And Stevie Wonder was playing on the other side of the park. So we're in the media area, and one of my colleagues who was there covering goes, "Dude, Stevie Wonder. We got to go to Stevie Wonder. Let's go to Stevie Wonder." I said, "I'm not going to Stevie Wonder." She's like, "It's Stevie Wonder." I said, "Yeah, but it's not like 1979 Stevie Wonder. This guy's going to like do some, you know, a couple
I don't know.
of
I think he cranked.
you know,
something hits.
no, yeah, but they're medleys and a little bit of this.
It's
And
hard to back 50 years into.
you get tired of playing those songs, so we go to see My Morning Jacket. 10 minutes into the set, I get a text. "Hey man, where are you guys? We're leaving Stevie." Should have just come with me.
Well,
There you go, sorry.
there you go.
There's my story. We're like, shut up, Ruben.
Let's talk some jazz records.
Please.
There's a lot of jazz records this week. Some kind of big stuff. There is a Miles live set, Live at the End, which has never
Never
been available
before. Look at that. And it's Miles Davis, people. Come on.
Later period on Rhino Records, so you know it's going to sound good. Very integrity conscious with regards to the quality of the recordings.
Right.
And I don't know if that was with the estate or something, but it's just not been available before. Maybe part of the box set, but it's also available on CD. as well as with a lot of these pieces. But that's going to be fun to play in the store. We're all looking
Yeah,
forward
man,
to hearing that.
and he's one of those guys. I don't care if it's like early Miles, cool free jazz, whatever he's doing. It's Miles Davis. It's just cool all the time.
Yeah, and that late 60s, 70s stuff really resonates with rock guys like us. I mean, it's kind of where it makes sense. Of course, you can say the kind of blues really the jump off point.
Sure.
For everything.
Yeah.
Anybody that became a jazz fan, that's the gateway.
Yeah.
To
if
that
you weren't
world.
already in that scene, that was that opened the door.
So it's easy to get there.
Yeah, man.
That. So
it's good stuff.
Good to have some new Miles. This record, Sonny Clark. This is like regarded as one of the most important hard bop albums.
Okay.
We always see that listed. And it's got one of the coolest covers.
Super cool.
I love that cover. Blue Note had such good. I think it's either
Blue
58 or 59 maybe. It's late 50s because it's really
Art Farmer trumpet, Jackie McLean on alto,
Billy Joe
Paul
Jones.
Chambers on bass. I mean, come on.
And those guys are on countless brilliant records.
Yeah,
Blue Note
for sure.
And that one is just been remastered again. I guess they made some mistakes with their last 5-year inverted 75th records were messed up. So this is supposed to correct some of the integrity problems with that.
And it's got the old 5e.
Yeah, you got the liner now.
Old style liner. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. Let's talk Bill Evans. Arguably one of the most important pianists ever.
Absolutely.
He's got 2 things out this week. One is this live record. We got another great sleep fest here too.
Yeah.
It'll be just like Bill Evans is here. This has never been available for this Craft Recordings label. They're dealing with a lot of, with jazz records. A lot of the original recording engineers, they're in possession of tapes that were never, because jazz guys are moving so quick.
Yeah.
They might make a record every 3 months, but they still recorded way more than that. And I think that's what you have here. You have this. Record that was taped in someone's possession, but it's getting great reviews. It's on a Friday evening, live recording with Bill Evans. You get his fuzzy face there.
And I was watching one of those jazz documentaries. It might have been even during the Ken Burns thing, where they were talking about the scene in New York. Obviously Blue Note. In New York City, you had you had guys that would do something down in the Village. They would do a set, whatever, and then one guy was like, "Hey man, I've got," because studio time was cheaper at night. They had a session. These guys would just show up and improvise.
Yeah, and I think
sometimes it'd get released, and sometimes
it
was just a jam session.
Yeah, and in the case of on that record, you've got 4 or 5 brilliant players. Well, they would just keep playing, and then they'd pick tracks for each other because they would all do an album.
Right.
And they would pick the tracks that really featured them more than others for their records. So you have sessions.
That's so cool.
It's really fun to connect the dots with jazz and figure out which records came from which sessions.
Right.
Because that's where when the magic
happened.
You find that one great record and then work from there. And then there's the first ever career retrospective, and we get the glare up there, of Bill. Because he recorded, as with many jazz guys, he recorded for Prestige, for Verve, for ton of labels.
Yeah.
This really kind of pulls all the best work under one umbrella in one package. They call that cross-licensed, folks. And again, Kraft does a really good job with their pieces that are like this. And this is a way to pick up one of the great artists of the 20th century, kind of all their best stuff.
A deluxe 5 CD set. Right. Obviously, you've got your booklet and features, in case you were wondering, Cannonball Adderley, Tony Bennett, Stan Getz, and the great Jim Hall.
There you go. What did you say? What did you say earlier when you were talking about the how many people were on the record?
Oh, I don't know. What did I say?
It's like a murderer's row.
Oh, it's a murderer's row.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's like,
which was the game? Which obviously the great classic Yankee lineup was Murderer's Row. Back in the 40s or 50s. I should know that as a former Yankee fan.
There
but
you
I
go.
Don't. All right.
Yeah, you get all the big names on there, and I will say that speaking out for CDs, in the case of some of the packages we've talked about here, you're seeing a lot of content that is not available digitally, that is really only in these packages. So
interesting.
If you're a fan out there, I mean, we're all digital music consumers as well. But if you really scratch around and dig down deep, a lot of the material on these sets is not available via streaming. So,
and that's good. And stuff like that is good to have. And I'll tell you why. Even if you're not a jazz fan, and even if your friends are not jazz fans, and you have people over, and it's kind of a casual thing. You just put that on in the background and let it go, and you blow people's minds.
I always feel smarter than I know that I am when I do that.
It's like, do you guys mind if we listen to a little bit of Evans? And they're like, sure. Yeah,
there you go. Great trick. Let's talk about someone we've talked about before. They keep reissuing her records. PJ Harvey, White Chalk, one of her later works, which I know Ruben's a fan.
Love it.
This is
all PJ.
This is another one of those records that
Paula Jean
was only a CD forever. Finally on vinyl. And
let me interrupt. First time you heard her?
It was the record store.
Yeah.
We've been reading the press or whatever, and that first record was out on Island, and there were immediate fans around the store. It's got very distinctive vocal.
Once again, me just being the not too tuned in guy, and I was watching MTV, and the video for 50 Foot Queenie came on.
Oh, that's the song.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, that was really kind of a magical time of stuff that would never make the mainstream making it happen.
MTV put it out there. Yeah. Mark Goodman talks about it on his show on Sirius on Debatable.
I've never heard that. I've heard that's good.
It's really good. And it's Alan Light is his co-host. It's fantastic, guys. Sirius 106 volume. There you go. There's your shout out.
All right.
Anyway.
And, as with some of these reissues, they're doing this great thing of they're making the demos available on LP. Yeah. And these things are great. I love it when they take content that has only been available on CD and make it on LP for your vinyl fans.
Just look at that. Here's that. You just say PJ Harvey and the hair on my arm stands up.
Let's talk about some hip hop records here.
Please.
Everybody knows these guys. This record,
The Roots.
It was on vinyl at one time, but it's so far in the rearview mirror.
I missed it, and I had to go back to it because it was out, and everybody was like, "The Roots, the Roots, the Roots," and I'm so glad I did because it's crazy, man.
Yeah, and there's tons of bonus material that you're looking.
God.
I think the original content fit on one LP, and there's 2 additional LPs.
Yeah, so these are like obviously different takes and different mixes,
right? And stuff that they couldn't fit on the record.
Yeah, I know why. And we talked about this the other day too. Questlove's podcast is amazing if you get a chance to catch that. Questlove Supreme, so good.
He's another one of those guys, man. If he's talking about music, you should probably pay attention to this.
Who used to shout him out all the time was Bourdain, because apparently Quest is quite the foodie and knows all these chefs all around the world. And whenever the Roots are in Belgium or something, he shows up at this Michelin-starred restaurant. Now there's Questlove, Man, he's a Renaissance man of the world.
He is indeed.
Yeah.
He is indeed.
That's got to be a cool catch just to hang out.
Oh no, there is no doubt. Next record, finally on vinyl, this Nipsey Hussle record, which was
R.I.P.
Yes, a bestseller on digitally and on CD forever, and really now kind of a classic LP of the genre, and people love that guy for good reason. Community leader, stand-up guy. We did a signing with him at the store.
Really? What was that like?
So cool. It was super cool, man. He was lovely and great and very gracious with fans. And then we do a thing to help out some friends and when their kids need a leg up on stuff. So one of our store friends and customers, it was the tail end of the Girl Scout cookie season.
Right.
And, if you're the host house for that, you end up with a lot of
Girl Scout cookies. Went through it many times. Bought more than I could ever eat.
Right. And so you end up with all this extra that you got to figure out a way to move. So we did a Girl Scout cookie thing at the in-store. And we have some great photos of him enjoying some
I need to see that.
And,
eventually when, our production value goes up, maybe when they renew us for the second season, we'll be able to have those photos would just, our producer Hottie could just pop those up.
I should definitely.
That's it. We're not trying to put the cart in front of the horse. So one of those cats, this is one of the guys that I'd heard the name, didn't actually go back into the music until after he passed. right?
Yeah.
You know, because I was like, okay, I need to find this out because
I think that's
it was
how it happens
right.
sometimes.
But in case you guys were wondering, and you're not super familiar, there's you know, just who's featuring on certain tracks. Puff Daddy's on a track, Dedication featuring Kendrick Lamar, CeeLo Green on Loaded Basses. I mean, there's a lot of heavy hitters on here. So yeah, and of course, you get it on super cool vinyl. I mean, come on,
And it's a fun record. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a cool.
Yep.
People dig that. Right.
Man.
I'm getting to the end of the
Come
end
on.
of the basket.
This is what I love. You don't get this from other live feeds.
There's a brand new Elvis Costello. This surprise release, indie store exclusive. It was embargoed. We weren't supposed to talk about it. But
No, is this all new music?
it's
or
all
is
new
this-
music and alternate versions of stuff from his last record, which, as you can see, it's Iggy Pop's on a track,
Right.
a couple of tracks actually, and it's just actually it's the same content on each side.
Elvis is like, I'm going to have features too.
So it's an EP. They sequence it the same on both sides, which keeps you from having to flip the record over as much.
Crazy.
But you know, indie store exclusive colored vinyl thing you can't get elsewhere. It's got a very little
Now,
fan base. He's one of those guys that I think did well during the
Pandemic.
lockdown because he was just making records. He was just working hard.
So obviously the title is in French.
I'm not going to.
Was it recorded in France? Records doesn't say, but that's interesting. I guess you could go to elviscostello.com and find out, or concordrecords.com. Maybe the label's out of France, or maybe he just said this is. Maybe he taught himself French during the pandemic. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, that would be. I think that they were. I read this thing where they were on vacation. I think in Canada.
Yeah.
When everything kind of happened, and they just decided,
Yeah, you're stuck in
we're
Quebec.
going to stay here.
Yeah, this is home base.
Yeah,
Yeah. Although early on you had very little choice.
that's true.
It's like, how would you get that?
Yeah, I mean, even when
to
things
the
started
UK?
getting locked, you couldn't even get around. Of course, you know what? He's married to Diana Krall, so he probably had no problem staying in for a long time.
I'm sure you can call someone.
Yeah, and that's what we got for
That's
this
it.
week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, before we do the big sign off here, you tell everybody what's happening Monday right here at Cactus Music.
Monday, we have one of our favorite local bands that we've been with since they put their first EP out.
Yeah.
Played the store numerous times.
They were just kids.
They were just kids.
They're still kids.
We have Water Parks here Monday at 6 p.m. and they're going to do a photo op. It's the best way for us to move through 500 or 600 people in a manageable amount of time. So fans that come to the store, they can actually go to cactusmusictx.com, and there is a link to our Shopify store, and they can pre-buy their CD. And when they get here, we've got their CD, and then we have a photo op. You call them grip and turns. Is that what you do?
Turn and burn.
Turn and burn. Okay.
Yeah.
So you get stepping with them, say hi, take your photo, and then on your way out, we have an autographed art print.
Yeah.
For everybody. That
So
comes.
no performance.
No performance.
Got it. Okay, just let's be sure because people are going to be like, "Oh my God, I want to see this," because you guys are known for some live performances.
We are. We're going to get
in the
back to it
building.
soon. We just weren't comfortable.
Yeah.
Cramming 500 people in the store.
You know what's exciting? And I did a story that downtown at the Hobby Center today. It was just a rehearsal for an act that's happening. But you know the calendars are out, so I mean we're going to see like Broadway and starting in September. Several of the theaters are announcing October dates. So the performing arts stuff.
I mean that's great, and it's very encouraging to see that industry and those people get back to work. It's super important. So people can come meet the band. I wouldn't wait because we're over 3/4 of the way sold out. So
that's right, limited time. So if you are a fan of these guys, definitely give Quinn and the guys a holler on the socials. All right, what else do we cover? Anything else? Anything upcoming? Anything on the horizon? I know you can't disclose things. I try every week, and he knows he actually his crystal ball is actually very tuned in. All right, guys.
My crystal ball is rusty because I was out for a week.
Yeah, but you needed the R&R, and being out that week gave our production team time to rest up as well, and all of the people that worked so hard on the show.
Yeah, I think that's right. I'll go with that.
All right, man. So guys, thank you for joining us. Hit the share button. Make sure you get it out there so we can pick up 1, 2, maybe 3 more viewers every week. And we will see you next Thursday at 12:30 for episode 6 of The Drop. Peace.